stay-at-home mom, and my husband Ryan and I have created a very specific set of rules and routine for our young children. And Ryan's mother, Denise, often likes to come over and help with the kids, which I appreciate. But I do have a specific way of doing things, and oftentimes I want to handle a lot of the childcare myself. Now, Denise is well-meaning, but she can also be overbearing, and she often says that her experience raising her kids gives her the right to make decisions about her grandkids. And while I think she should have input on how I'm raising her grandchildren, she is not their mother, I am. So I believe I should have the final say. Me and their father should have the final say in how they're raised. Now, Ryan is supportive of me, but every so often when I bring up a time or a grievance where his mother says or does something that I don't quite like, then he usually tells me to kind of let it go and that she means well. And I'm sure she does, but there's a time and a place for everything. Listen, I am a dedicated and protective mother who values structure and consistency in her kids' lives. Sue me. So because of that, I'm wary of anyone that wants to make decisions for my children without my consent, as would anyone, no? So recently, I've been noticing Denise wanting to spend more alone time with the kids. When she comes over, she'll suggest that I take a break, take a nap, go run some errands, which is nice, but I started to feel uneasy when Denise started making suggestions like, oh, Ella could benefit from more socialization, or, oh, Lucas should have a different play group. And she's making these suggestions of what she would like to see change. So I thought that was strange, but I guess not particularly bad by any means, the valid suggestions. But one day while I'm out running these errands that Denise keeps pushing on me to go and do, I receive a call from my neighbor. And my neighbor's like, hey, just checking in. I keep seeing this young woman leaving your house while you're out recently. And you know what? Thank goodness for nosy neighbors, because what do you mean a young woman? So I do a little investigating because I sure know that my husband's not cheating on me. He only has eyes for me. So I asked Denise, I'm like, hey, while you're supposedly watching my kids, my neighbor sees this young woman leave my house. And she goes, oh yeah, that's just the babysitter I hire. And I go, babysitter? I've never met a babysitter. I didn't know of a babysitter. I didn't agree to a babysitter. So what's that about? And she said she felt compelled to hire me a babysitter because the kids need more socialization and I needed help around the house. So I'm outraged that Denise has made such a big decision behind my back about my children. I don't know this woman. I don't know her history. I don't know her background. I don't know what she does with the kids. And I'm their mother. I should know who my children are spending time with. I was under the impression that Denise was the babysitter. I call Ryan, bother him at work, and he really just kind of sides with his mom at first. Well, I guess he doesn't really take sides, but he says, oh, she's just trying to help. Oh, I know your mother's trying to help, and I know your mother's help. And if it were helpful, she would have asked me first. So now I'm fighting with Denise, telling her that me and Ryan are the only people who should be making final decisions about how our children are raised. Again, I voice my opinion, not even opinion. I think it's known fact that the grandparents should have input. Their opinions should be recognized, but you're not the parent anymore. You're the grandparent. I, the mother, and my husband, the father, we're the ones making decisions about our children and their care. So Denise and I are fighting, and I tell her, oh, do you want to be picked up, baby? Come here. I tell her, I appreciate her willingness to help. I do. But she cannot make decisions without me about my children. That's just completely inappropriate, and that she was overstepping her boundaries. So Denise tries to defend her actions, and I stand firm. I'm like, no, Denise, I appreciate your willingness to help, but either you're going to respect the fact that I make the final say in what happens to and with my children, or your interactions with them are going to be limited. And in the middle of this fight, Ryan comes home and he hears the tail end of it, and he finally jumps on my side and says, Mom, any decisions about our kids' childcare we are going to make. And anytime you watch them and there's some sort of decision that we don't know about, you need to let us know so we have the opportunity to make that decision. We need to be informed about what our kids are doing all the time because we care, because we want to be responsible parents. And for you to hire that babysitter that we never met makes us seem irresponsible because who knows what she did? If you also left the house, you don't know what she did. So once Ryan started speaking, I think Denise finally got the message, and she did apologize, which I appreciate. And she said that from now on, she will respect our authority as the parents. So now Denise has backed off a little bit, and look at her. She's so silly. She's backed off a little bit, and it's better now, honestly. Ryan and I have authority as parents that we deserve. We have the respect of his mother, plus her willingness to help, which is the only thing we wanted this whole time. I am very grateful that Denise really took what we had to say to heart and that she was open-minded enough to apologize for what we felt she did wrong. And I pray that moving forward, we continue to just love and support one another.